With Pokemon Day fast approaching on February the 27th and a new Pokemon Presents coming with it, I thought now would be the perfect time to ramp up the excitement and take a look at what we might see announced for this year in Pokemon and beyond. The upcoming Pokemon Presents marks the first major news we Pokemon fans have had in a whole year, so the anticipation for what could be revealed is anyone's best guess. One thing we can almost bank on is new Pokemon Legends ZA news. After its brief reveal last year, we've had no follow-up since. Now with the reveal of the Switch 2, it's likely we'll get our first real look at gameplay for this new title, which is exciting in itself. But I think we can expect to see a bit more than just that. Since Legends ZA is set to release sometime in 2025, we're likely to get a deeper look at some of the Pokemon that will feature in this game, along with the reveal of the starter Pokemon for this new adventure. I'd imagine we'll also showcase some of the returning Mega Pokemon and maybe even tease one or two new ones before ending with the official release date of this game. The extent of the information, in my opinion, that we'll get is probably dependent on the release date. If it's later in the year, I expect less information right now, but if we're not too far out, we might get an overload of new details about this mainline title. Now, with that guaranteed announcement out the way, let's move on to some of the less likely reveals. And while I'd love to see these happen more than anything, a lot of them might be just wishful thinking and very heavy rumors. A new evolution. 2025 has officially been coined the year of Eevee. Alongside TCG products, giveaways, and Pokemon Center exclusive Eevee themed merch, it's been a hot topic to kick off the year. Since the reveal of Sylveon in Pokemon X and Y back in 2014, we haven't seen a new addition to the 9 existing evolutions. But with all the current hype around Eevee, could this be a huge hint that a new evolution is on the horizon, especially with Legends ZA dropping very soon? Rumors about a new evolution pop up literally every year, so it's nothing new to hear this kind of speculation leading up to Pokemon Day. But with all the excitement surrounding Eevee, especially as we approach Pokemon's 10th anniversary, and this would be a 10th evolution, so it would fit perfectly, this feels like it could be the perfect time to introduce a new one. If you've been around in the Pokemon fanbase for even the last year, you'll definitely have heard this rumor over and over and over again, and it's the classic Pokemon games being ported to the Switch. It's another one that always makes the rounds before every Pokemon Presents, and honestly, don't get me wrong, I'd actually love for this more than anything to finally happen. Is this the year though that we finally see Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald ported to the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 as virtual console games? Ever since the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance virtual consoles launched on the Switch, the community has speculated that it's only a matter of time before the Pokemon classic titles get added. If you were around during the 3DS era, you'll remember that Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal were launched as virtual console games on that system, so it's definitely been done before, and now with the Game Boy Advance virtual console already set up on the Switch, it seems more likely than ever, but the big question is when it's going to happen, and is it going to be this year or sometime down the line? Black and White remakes. Now, what's that saying? There's no smoke without fire. Well, this next one gives me that exact feeling. Last year, one of the biggest rumors was that a Black and White remake was about to be announced. Pokemon Day came and went, and nothing. But some reputable leakers had mentioned it, which makes me think there is still something to this. Now, a year later, could we finally see Black and White remakes announced? If we follow Pokemon's release patterns, is anything to go by, Legends Arceus of course followed Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. A similar pattern could happen here, with Black and White dropping in maybe July or August this year, before Legends ZA releases in November. I'd personally love to see this happen, but it's definitely one that I wouldn't put money on, but one to definitely keep in mind going into Pokemon Day. I do think we'll get new Tera Raid and Mass Outbreak events in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to celebrate Pokemon Day. Maybe, just maybe, we'll finally get a 7-star Shiny Miraidon and Koraidon raid event. And even though that sounds far-fetched, it could happen. We always get the shiny box art legendaries as mystery gifts towards the end cycle of a game's life, and we're getting close to that point now with Scarlet and Violet, so it's definitely something that's on the horizon. Aside from that, leading on from the recent Walking Wake and Iron Leaves raids, we could also see version exclusive Tera raids for Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, Iron Crown and Iron Boulder, and this would allow players to catch the opposite version exclusives in their copy, which is definitely one of the most requested things, especially in the competitive community. And not everyone would love that, to be able to complete their Pokedexes, not have to buy the additional copy of the game if they can't afford it or for whatever reason. I think this would be a great event if we don't get something really spectacular. I think Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, Iron Crown and Iron Boulder would be definitely fan favorite raid events. Let's see if that drops or if we get something even more spicy. I do think we'll get a brand new mass outbreak event as well. What it will be is anyone's best guess. I think a nice one that we could potentially see is mass outbreak events featuring the new starters from Pokemon Legends ZA. They could be really fun ones to kind of celebrate the new game, get the hype up, and give us a chance to get maybe some of the starter Pokemon with special or rare marks with increased shiny chances. That's just one of my wish list ideas. Let me know down below what you would like to see as a mass outbreak event happening in Scarlet and Violet. Now, this next one, I think it's a long shot, but we could get a small teaser for Generation 10. I've heard a lot of people talk about this, a lot of people mentioning that they think Gen 10 is coming this year. In my opinion, it's still over a year out, and I don't think we'll see it release until November 2026. But who knows, Pokemon do love a curveball. The only reason I heavily doubt us getting Gen 10 news this year is because any Gen 10 news would take away from the hype of Pokemon Legends ZA, in my opinion. After a full year of silence, I feel like Pokemon will use this moment to build up hype for Legends ZA and save any Gen 10 news for next year's Pokemon Day. But like I say, curveballs, you never know. It would be amazing to see something Gen 10 related, even if it's nearly 2 years before its release. I wouldn't refuse, but I do think it would have that conflict with ZA, so I really can't see us getting any Gen 10 news just yet. And aside from Cafe remakes, we're going to get Pokemon Go news, TCG Pocket, and I'm sure EX Masters as well. There's going to be a bunch of stuff in there, but this is primarily what I'm expecting, hoping for, coming from a Pokemon Switch video game point of view. And hopefully some of the things that we've mentioned in today's video do come to fruition. Let me know down in the comments what you expect to see and what you'd more importantly love to be announced. Regardless of what gets revealed, I hope you all have a great Pokemon Day and enjoy the Pokemon Presents. And if you want to watch it together, we'll be streaming a watch party here on the channel for the whole event on Thursday. So we hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.